Welcome to the Simplified Organization Podcast, 15-minute conversations with real moms about managing real life well and cheerfully, because our work in the home honors God. He uses our homes to build His kingdom, and so they are worth our time and attention. I'm Mystie Winckler, and I run Simply Convivial, a blog, podcast, and community helping women to excel at homemaking and do life cheerfully. I'm also author of The Convivial Homeschool, Gospel Encouragement for Keeping Your Sanity While Living and Learning Alongside Your Kids. And today I have part 2 of my conversation with Kristi Clover. Kristi is a home organization and mom life expert. She's also author of M.O.M, Master Organizer of Mayhem, and also the book Homeschool Basics. She hosts the Simply Joyful podcast and is a popular conference speaker. Her passion is to help Christian women find sanity and joy in the throes of mom life. She loves to share about her adventures in motherhood and home life through a variety of media, and you can usually find her at kristiclover.com. Kristi and her husband Steve live in San Diego with their 5 kids. Be sure to connect with Kristi online for an extra dose of encouragement. She's at Kristi Clover on most social media networks. So let's dig into part 2, where Kristi is going to share some of her best home organization tips. So what are some of your best organization tips?
Ooh. I would say actually, especially speaking to the moms out there who are listening, and I think a really big one, I was thinking about this the other day because my oldest daughter has really been getting into trying to get us organized, but I've been trying to teach her that organization is about efficiency, because it doesn't help for the counter to be clear if things just got put away in random places. Like everything in your home, if it's important enough to keep, needs to have a home. So everything needs to go in a home. And then the key is for getting the family on board is they all need to know where the home is.
Yes.
It doesn't help if I'm the only one that knows. And that's honestly why I tend to label I have weird labels in weird places. Like I actually have labels in my refrigerator sometimes because I get tired of having 3 loaves of bread open, and little moments like that where it helps everyone if we have those types of systems in play where, okay, when we clean up, this is where things go. When we're actually doing things, there are certain places we don't do things. So like I tend to keep the dining room clear unless we're hosting a meal. And so that way the dining room is not a drop spot. And so that's a big rule in our house. And so we have, every area in the house has, and it sounds weird to say rules, like my kids wouldn't say one of the rules is, it's just that it's just like an understanding of this is an area because it's the first area people see when they walk in the door. And so it makes it easier if we just don't get everything out in those rooms. I say, as we just took down Easter and it is in the living room right now. So if you walked in my front door, you are going to see Easter explosion in the living room. But yeah, so that's, I think, probably one of the best tips I have for parents is to take the time to train their kids where things go and to introduce them to where the homes are for things. And if you see a system that's broken, like I talk about it in the book, and that is we had shoes and sweatshirts everywhere. So I bought some bins for the shoes. And what I realized is that my little kids were too small to put their clothes up on the hanger where they went. So some quick little hooks and like that I just stuck on the back of the closet door, and the problem was solved. So a lot of times it's looking to see what's broken and figuring out a system around that. So if you constantly have a messy counter, then, what's on the counter? Where is it supposed to go and who put it there? Like it's more fun when you gamify things, when you make things like interesting. So kind of become a detective, like what's going on? Like where are the messes happening and what do we need to do? What systems can we bring in? And again, like a system, like for me, it was a hook and a basket. For papers, it could be that you need a little filing system. And so just the little things like that go a long way. So those are really, truly my best hacks.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more and more, but those are the ones like as far as what I'm noticing right now in my home, that's where things unravel, is when we've been bringing new things home since we had to empty out a house. And so we have a lot of stuff that was just coming in. Now, what do we do with that? Finding new homes for everything and making sure everybody knows what those homes are.
Yeah. Yeah. Having the space that's just visually clear is so helpful, because I feel like order and tidiness can radiate out from one spot that's clear.
Yes.
Instead of feeling like, oh, everything's a mess. It's okay. We have this one spot back at we're in a temporary rental right now that doesn't have this situation. But at our previous house, I had a kitchen island, and I called it my island of sanity. And it was the spot, like, it stays clear and it's a workstation. So I used it, but I could use it anytime I needed it, because it was always the very first place that I cleaned.
Ooh,
and the
that's
very
good.
first thing, like, other people couldn't leave things there.
Yeah.
There are other spots. People do need places to drop things. Like, you do need to have a drop zone, but it's okay to say, not this space.
Yeah. Because we had our dining room we're one of those homes where I kind of laugh. We have a living room and a dining room, but we have a big family room and a big kitchen and a table in there. So we live in that area. So I'm like, we don't need to make big messes in the other areas. And I was going to say, when you mentioned the counter, one of the ways that I got my island to start looking better and nicer was that, and it's another little hack that I have, is that clean and cute go a long ways. So when I am getting ready to organize or clean it or tidy up an area, I clean it, which makes me think, what really goes back here? Because I'm not going to put junk back on it. So for me and my portion of getting things organized, if it's clean, then I'm being very strategic in what I'm allowing back in a space. And then the other thing is to make it cute. And that has been the key on our island, is I put up some family photos and added some little plants and put in a few candles. And it's just interesting how it changed the mindset for everyone in the house, because we like the counter, because you can't see the cute if it's cluttered. And the clutter would have to get pretty high. Like, it just has made such a difference that when I take the time to clean an area, be strategic about what I'm putting back, and then making it cute, it's just so much easier to keep clean.
Yeah, it's more, okay, I'm not just going to set my keys here because it doesn't fit.
You'll get a cute little hook for those.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Did you have a resource you wanted to share, or any place you wanted to suggest people go?
Sure. Yes, I have a fun little ebook that I make available for everyone. It's called Sanity Savers for Moms. And I go through I've been updating the books. I think there's an 8th one. I can't remember if I've updated it all the way, but there were 7 Sanity Savers originally in the book. And it's a quick read. It's just an easy resource. So if you go to kristiclover.com/sanity, you can get access to it. You will get emailed the Sanity Savers for Moms for free.
That's great. It's often the simple things that end up making the biggest difference.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I share a few funny stories in that too. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Kristi. This has been great.
Oh, it's been so fun. Thank you so much. And thank you for all you do to bless moms and bless people with helping them to simplify. So that's amazing.
And that's it for this episode of the Simplified Organization Podcast. Kristi shared some great home organization tips, but an organized home that isn't clean still isn't quite organized, is it? So you need to come up with the homekeeping routines that will work for your particular home, your particular family, your particular lifestyle. And I have a free 3-page guide that will walk you through the process of figuring that out for yourself and setting up your own personalized housekeeping routine. Just go to simplyconvivial.com/clean to download this free guide. That's simplyconvivial.com/clean, and it will help you to clean and to repent, rejoice, repeat.